chapter from the book How to Heal a Broken Heart in 30 Days. Today's chapter is called Values. And speaking of values, I wanted to talk to you about something right quick here. I've been pondering about why I tend to repeat my mistakes in life. And one of the mistakes I have made repeatedly is forming ties with people, not just on YouTube, everywhere, and going back to situations that are not healthy for me or for anybody else concerned. Now, I have to be honest with you. Before I do stuff, I often picture things in my mind. I think everybody does. Like if I say, don't think of a purple hippopotamus eating watermelon, the first thing your mind is going to do is show you that purple hippopotamus eating watermelon. So let's be real. We all imagine things and think about things before we do them. So, what I picture when I see somebody that's hurting or angry or frustrated is that little kid on the playground who sees a group of other kids playing and just kind of sits there like this, looking, wanting to be part of it. So they go up and they whack somebody, like smack them. And the other kids are like, hey, what are you doing? And the little kid says, me, I want to play. I want to play. And they're like, forget it, dude. I'm not going to let you into our group because you're violent. You're nasty. And I'm the one that comes along and puts my arm around the little guy or girl and says, oh, come on, honey, you can come play in our group. And then they find acceptance and we live happily ever after and they become a better person for it. Yeah, well, that works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes when you take in the person, the little kid that's smacking people, they turn and smack you too. And I think that's what's happened over and over in my life. And somehow in the back of my mind, I think, but there's got to be a reason why this little kid is smacking everybody. They just want acceptance. They just need love. My foster mom taught me it's when people act the most unlovable that they need the most love. Hey, you're main girl. So I translated that to many relationships in my life that when people acted the ugliest and the meanest, that's when they needed the most love. So I was trying to be the loving person, only to be discovering that some people, no matter how much you love them, no matter how much you care or try to help them or include them, are just plain vicious people. They're vicious little kids, they're vicious adults, and yes, little children can be very vicious. Believe me, I know. My eldest daughter, Carol, has proof of that from her sister raking a set of janitor keys. If you don't know what that is, it's like a set of keys that has a key from every room in an entire church in it. Um, and this keychain thing or key hook, key loop, whatever you want to call it, had every key all over the church building on it. So it was pretty heavy. I mean, it was very heavy actually, and heavy to carry, heavy to lift, heavy to use. Well, my daughter got mad at her older sister, took that key set and went right down her back from between her shoulder blades right down to her hip. She still has a scar. So yes, little kids can be vicious. It doesn't matter how old they are. Little babies can even be kind of nasty sometimes. But that little kid in the schoolyard who their brain is still forming, obviously, they've been rejected from group after group because they're just plain mean. And sometimes they can be, taken aside and shown by the teacher in the school, oh, honey, if you want to play with the other kids, that's not the way to do it. Go and use your words. That works to an extent. And then when people grow up and become adolescents, teenagers, adults, and they didn't learn that and they didn't learn how to assimilate into groups or interpersonal relationships, they can just flat out be vicious and gather other vicious people with them and form gangs, basically, or other main groups. So, yeah, I've had to learn a hard lesson that, yes, my foster mom taught me well in the majority of cases, but there are some exceptions to every rule. So, today we're going to be talking about values. And mine are definitely changing as I get older, for sure. So, the ideal, we're going to call it friend, even though they say lover in here, because this applies to friends, not just lovers. And I'm talking about friends, not lovers. But you can apply it either way. No matter how much you may hurt today, you'll be shedding your pain and moving on, probably sooner than you now believe possible. So, even though it may sound distasteful or unlikely, you will someday have to decide whether you wish to find someone else with whom you can share an intimate love or friendship. Incidentally, the odds are good that if you're reading this book, you aren't yet ready to launch your new love or friendship prospect screening program. If you're still hurting from the loss of your last lover, it will take you a while to recharge the emotional batteries that will permit you to wholeheartedly share yourself with someone new. Thankfully, it doesn't take me very long. I move on pretty quickly. So, worse, if you try to do that right now, you face even better odds that your rebound situation will almost certainly bring you no sustaining satisfaction. Even if your fling or whatever relationship just gives you the chance to revenge yourself on your ex, it's still an affair that looks to your past, not your future. However, it's not too soon to begin to consider the right and wrong way to go about finding someone. If for no other reason, these considerations can help you better understand why your last relationship didn't work out. So, what's it like to be a single today? Again, they're talking about love relationships, but it can be a friend too. A leading online dating service recently surveyed thousands of members. Over three-quarters of the participants said that the dates they met through the service were nothing at all like the way these dates had described themselves in the service's portfolios. So, what does this mean? Are people better at deception than at courtship and intimacy? It could be that the majority of people looking to form new relationships really don't have a clear picture of what they're seeking. Or it could mean that they don't really know how others see them. Or they do and are afraid that others won't find their packaging very attractive. Unfortunately, many people still seem to entertain a sixth grade fairy tale fantasy of who their unique person ought to be. True God is fresh from the froth of Sports Illustrated Swimwear edition, a knight with a large estate and sparkling armor riding to their rescue. Naturally, they'll never have to work again. As the dating service survey shows, in order to appeal to such paragons, people will often have to resort to lies or self deception. We see a lot of that on the internet, of course. What is your ideal person like? Have you really thought critically about, oh, I'm sorry, Frosty, about your own fantasies, or are you still hanging on to sophomoric notions? At the moment, your picture of your ideal friend is still likely to resemble the person from whom you've just parted. That's understandable. When breakups occur, the loss leaves a hole. People miss the other person and may even long for him or her. So it's natural to conclude that your ex must have been your ideal lover. And once they've selected their significant others, some people actually become physically addicted to these lovers. Much has been written about how the female hormone oxytocin plays a mediating role in bonding women to romantic relationships. For these women, the sexually cued release of this hormone may even create a virtual addiction to an intimate partner. That works in friendships too, by the way. You can become addicted. Researchers have claimed that this may be why women can require more time to recover from a breakup than men. Unfortunately for them, most studies have shown that men take longer to truly recover, although they move on to replacement relationships more quickly. But today, you can rise above the sixth grade level of thinking. Remember how much you have already discovered about yourself in just the past few days? Now you can rethink your ideal lover or friend. What would that person be like? Start your imagining by thinking well of yourself, well enough to be willing to be loved in all of the ways you truly want to be loved. That means knowing who you are, admitting both your faults and your glories. In light of that clarity, create a new, clearer picture of who you truly want to love. First, imagine that it's time to begin looking again. Who would you really want as a lover or friend? What kind of person would you now like to welcome into your life? Let's create a fantasy of what you truly want by thinking of an ideal lover or friend in realistic terms. Like I told you, when you encounter a narcissist in your life and you have a relationship with them, you lose your objectivity. You don't look at things realistically. So they're bringing you back to realism here. Forget all the material issues. Imagine the specifics of someone whose character and integrity you can really trust and love. What is it about this person that you would find most attractive? Hey, good morning, Jeff. Why are these features important to you now? Using your newfound clarity, once you begin to seek a new love, You'll find yourself saying no thank you to the ones who don't fit, who won't make you happy, and maybe to those who seem to possess the traits you're going to be looking for. If one of you doesn't dance, that's not going to ruin the relationship. But if you have in common some important values and have complementary differences, if you appreciate each other's stories and struggles, share laughter and even tears, it's safe to say you enjoy a positive attraction. I'll read your comments in just a minute. Again, see that lover in your mind or that friend. Let the image and personality become familiar. Think about these traits you're really looking for, or were looking for before your ex came along. Observe how much this ideal mate differs from your ex. Now ask yourself why you didn't pursue someone like this a long time ago. What has prevented you from having the love you wanted and truly deserved? Did fear of ending up alone take you away from your last search for a lover or friend? Loneliness is a terrible motivator. But without negative influences holding you back, your possibilities will considerably expand. Someday, if or when you can renew your interest in relationships, your ideal lover or friend may yet await you. Perhaps, though, that person is not waiting on a white horse or in designer swimsuit. Will an old white Mustang do instead? Yes, you can change your values, so don't turn a deaf ear when opportunity knocks. Okay, we are going to read this little chart in a minute. I'm going to check out your comments. Okay, Frosty said his Miss Frosty threw me out last night. It was a snow day. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. I'm sorry you got thrown out. I don't know. Um, Jessica Cat Live. Extra, I found a new girlfriend. She was. Oh, well, that worked out well for you then, didn't it? Man, my nose is itchy today. Ugh. Take a Sudafed or something. Well, that's what they're saying, Jessica Cat Live. They're saying that eventually you do replace the person with a new person, friend, ex, whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, that kind of thing. Okay, we grant that repressed feelings can be the source of secret pain and consequent evil. However, the currently fashionable emphasis on the importance of feelings may have led to a popular misconception that emotions, rather than reason, should be the primary determinant of one's actions. The great psychoanalyst Carl Jung stressed that people experience the world in four ways: with their intellects, their emotions, their sensations, and their intuitions. Well balanced individuals will use all four of these faculties together in order to deal effectively with reality of their circumstances. On the other hand, someone whose behavior is controlled purely by emotions will usually be seen as having problems with impulse control, emotional maturity, or socialization skills. Another psychotherapist, Nathaniel Brandon, claims that our emotions start in infancy as simply as pleasure or pain. We learn to associate one or the other with all of our experiences. Over time, we learn to call a certain kind of pleasure love, or another kind laughter. And we learn to call one pain hot, while another may be sharp or sad. Gradually, we build up a whole spectrum of feelings that can even combine pleasure and pain. Forget sadomasochism. Do you like hot food? Or getting tickled? So it's associating pleasure with pain. I don't do that, but some people do. Brandon also says that when we learn to associate a kind of experience with a particular feeling it produces, we have formed a value about the thing that provoked the feeling. Do you look forward to a roller coaster ride? Then you positively value it. Do you fear roller coaster rides? Then you negatively value them. Stick with us just a bit more on this because it's about to get real important. Brandon then says that feelings result from our subconscious mind, producing an almost instantaneous summary of all our experiences with the thing we're about to react to. This summary is a physical expression of our values in reaction to this thing. Show me a snarling cocker spaniel, and nearly at the speed of light, I feel the sense of rage and frustration that I felt at age 7 when a friend's pet cocker bit me, and I couldn't respond by biting him back. After all, my friend's mom was sitting right there. What's the point? It's simply this. Brandon next tells us correctly that it's not possible to use just your will to change your feelings about things. Try as you might, you can't wish away the pain you may feel about the loss of a lover or a friend. But here's the silver lining offered by Brandon's psychology. He teaches that while we can't change our feelings, we can change our values. By using our minds to review them and establish new priorities, new values, I'll never be able to force myself to feel that Cocker Spaniels are anything but overbred hairballs. But if I think hard enough about their redeeming qualities, I will ultimately be able to forgive and forget, or even to establish a new positive regard for the breed. All by using the power of the mind, not to coerce or control feelings, which is a total waste of time anyway, but to modify them in keeping with thoughtful reflection and reordering of one's personal values. Reason trumps feelings given enough time. Are you hurt and angry right now? What values have produced those feelings? A sense of loss of someone you loved? Feelings of hurt and anger at having been betrayed? Emotions of fear and despair because you feel you've been forced to betray someone you once loved? All of these feelings of woundedness can be more rapidly healed if you find new values for those things that are causing you pain. Do you still value your ex or former friend? Do you still, or do you realistically expect that you will feel the same way about him or her in 10 more years? How are you likely to value this person at that far distant time? What's to prevent you from changing the way you value that person now to the way you'll value him or her a decade from now? So that gives you a little bit of a different perspective on how to look at the breakup situation and the person that you broke up with and from. Anyway, let me see what Amber is trying to say to me here. Oh, she's just trying to video chat me. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Emotions can drive you, Jessica Cat Live. I think emotions drive a lot of people, especially on YouTube. Thankfully, they don't drive me very much. Sometimes I get caught up in stuff like that, but no, not so much. Anyway, I'm getting an uneasy feeling here, so I'm gonna take care of something. Okay, so anyhow, that is just the next little reading here from the book. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Does anybody want to chat about anything? We can. Today I am planning on getting some housework done. I've already started cleaning my room where I'm sitting in now, going through some laundry, washing some laundry, and I plan on doing some more stuff today. Maybe finding something to eat. I'm thinking fish and scallops sounds good for lunch, so I'll probably eat that. Probably have a banana with peanut butter on a tortilla like I did yesterday for breakfast. Happy birthday to the masked spoofer. I believe it's her birthday today, so if you see her in passing, wish her a happy day, happy birthday. Really wondering what is going on with this silly chat room here. It says live chat and it has an arrow, and I don't know what the arrow's pointing to, but whatever. Anyway, here's Teddy Bear for Hillary. TT, what you doing, buddy? What you looking for? Probably more food. That's all he ever wants to do is eat, eat, eat. Yeah, buddy, what you doing? I would put you up near the window, but I don't think you can see well enough to look out. Bobo Man's gonna look out the window. Hey, Bobo Man. They love this flag thing. You want to play? He doesn't want to play right now. He was enjoying it a minute ago. Well, he's looking out the window. Whatever. Okay. So nobody's probably awake enough to chat right now anyway. Guess I will head off. But thanks for listening to the book. I hope you all have a great day. Oh, you're awake, Jeff? Did you have your coffee, Jeff? Okay. I'm going to go head off and do some other stuff because, like I said, it doesn't seem people are really in a chat mood. So, oh, 3 cups. Wow. I couldn't do that. My heart would be pounding so bad, I'd feel like I was having a heart attack. So, you enjoy your day, and thank you for coming in. Have a great one. I will be visiting your rooms, whoever opens one, from time to time. I'm really kind of detoxing from the whole YouTube drama garbage because frankly, I've been put through a lot of stuff I don't deserve, and I don't feel like dealing with it anymore. I've heard enough lies to last me a lifetime, and I just pretty much distance myself at this point. But we are going to have a fun room coming up on arts and crafts. I'm trying to get the gang together that's going to be part of that. So if y'all are watching me right now, please respond to your email that I sent you out so we can get together and have a chat session to plan this fun time. I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to bring a little bit of positivity back to YouTube, which, hey guys, it's the holidays, as everybody says. And positivity is the name of the game during the holidays, or any days for that matter, but definitely the holidays. So if you're interested in showcasing your talent, arts, crafts, painting, drawing, whatever you want to do, we're going to be doing that and chatting along with it for a fun time on a StreamYard coming up soon whenever we all can arrange the time to be there together. So I'll be looking for your email responses to what day works best for you for the strategy session to plan this thing. And let's talk. You guys have a great one. I'll see you soon. I'm going to go call my daughter now. She's been trying to get a hold of me for a couple days. Bless you. Shalom.